And once again, a happy new year to all our viewers. But there's some big news which break. Let's take a look at that first. Well, amidst the border tensions between India and China, India on Saturday has invited a major bid to construct one of the country's highest IDs at Nyoma in Ladakh, which is less than 50 kilometers from the line of actual control. Once ready, it's going to be India's answer to rapid infrastructure development by China on the side of the border. Now, this upgraded advanced landing ground is going to be ready for fighter aircraft operations in 2 years. The site for the new advanced landing ground is going to be spread over 1,235 acres, where a 2.7-kilometer runway with allied military infrastructure will also come up. The airfield is going to be a strategic asset, resulting in quick movement of both troops and material in this sensitive area. So that's going to be one big move which has been taken by the government, clearly with an eye on Chinese attempts at the LAC, but more than that, to send out a very stern message to our opponents across the border that don't mess with India. India is defense ready. Let me go across to my colleague Aman Sharma, who's joining us live. So, Aman, it is clearly a tough messaging to China, a tough messaging to the world as far as India's defense preparedness is concerned.
See, Pallavi, Nyoma in Ladakh is a very, very sensitive location for India. It's also a very strategic location. It is located about 13,000 feet in height, just about less than 50 kilometers from the actual line of control. So, in a way, it will be one of the highest airfields of the country, and there already exists an advanced landing ground in Nyoma, where our Apache helicopters, our Chinook helicopters, our Mi-17s land. But what is needed and what was approved by the government some time back was an advanced landing ground in Nyoma, which can also enable the landing of fighter aircraft. So this work was entrusted to the Border Roads Organization, and just yesterday, the Border Roads Organization has finally invited this tender for building this 2.7-kilometer long runway here, which will be almost 45 meters wide, enable the landing of fighter aircraft from both. The alignment will be such that from both sides of the runway, the fighter aircraft can land. The project has a 2-year deadline for completion. In a way, this plugs a very crucial gap in our preparedness because, the Leh airfield is about 180 kilometers away from Nyoma. So having an advanced landing ground for fighter aircraft in Nyoma gives India an edge at the border, and also the rapid infrastructure that is being built by China on its side of the LAC. This move is also an answer to that, and we have all seen that since 2020, whatever has been happening in Leh and Ladakh, the tensions on the LAC with China, be it the Galwan clash in 2020 or the clash in Tabang just last month, India is upping its preparedness and taking no chances when it comes to the LAC.
But is it only on China, or obviously it's clearly immediately with an eye on China, but it's a larger messaging, you would say then, Aman?
Absolutely. See, I think there's a larger messaging also that India, because these reports always come that China has upped its infrastructure. So India doesn't want to fall behind on this. There are various other measures which are being undertaken, be it like the Sela tunnel being built for all-weather connectivity from Guwahati to Tawang, or be it the new alternative highway from Manali to Leh, which is being built, on which construction work is on. This alternative highway will be ready by 2026. So this will provide also an all-weather connectivity from Manali to Leh, apart from the existing Manali-Leh highway, which sees heavy snow and, a lot of passes are there. So also the Daulat Beg Durbuk road, the bridges are being upgraded on that for the movement of heavy trucks and heavy machinery. The whole idea is that men and material can move faster to the LAC, and especially in the case of an emergency, and the operational preparedness is heightened. And a larger message to China that India is also prepared for any eventuality, and our operational preparedness, Pallavi, is very, very high. That is the message India is sending to China as well internationally with the flurry of these projects on the LAC.
In fact, do hold on, Aman. We also have Dr. M.G. Augustine Vinod. He's the group captain. He's also now joining us. Thank you so much. Would you say this is a huge step forward as far as India's combat with China is concerned?
Pallavi, a couple of things. One is this was always on the cards. It is just kept getting postponed because of want of funds. So on the blueprint, on the drawing board, it was always there. Now it is coming to what do you say? They are declassifying it and talking about it. could also be messaging to China is, I would say, about 30% of the entire effort. Most important is, I recently traveled this particular road towards Baralachla to Leh, which is going from Atal Tunnel. In fact, my team was there for almost 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the best roads that is there. Yes, I agree. During winters, it sort of closes down for about a month, and sometimes during heavy snow, even right down to Manali, the roads are closed. So it is not, will it be an all-weather road? I really doubt. However big highway you make, it is not going to be an all-weather road. So that's out of the question. So what is the next option available, the next best option available? Next best option available is to create an airfield which can air maintain so many posts of us, including the ones which are facing China, as well as the Siachen can be maintained. So let's look at it. About 60 to 70% effort is going to be, C-130s or AN-32s landing over there, taking stuff, bringing stuff, to maintain these posts. And unfortunately, we are pumping in so much of taxpayers' money to maintain these posts, basically because we have neighbors who are not, who don't have conducive relationship with us. That's the unfortunate part. After having worn uniform and worked for IAS for so long, I feel if we have good diplomatic relationship and both sides scale down, probably we can put this money to good use.
But we don't have good diplomatic relationship, and hence it's important to have these kind of decisions taken.
Absolutely. No doubt about it, Pallavi. Because there were times, I remember, early 90s, we used to, fighter pilots used to have some detachment at Siachen. The life there is the worst kind of life you can have anywhere on the planet Earth. It is temperature goes to -50. I have seen soldiers suffering from something called, high altitude pulmonary edema is very common. The water retention in lungs. But there are few cases of high altitude cerebral edema. When cerebral edema happens, your brain starts accumulating water and you start behaving funny. There are cases when people have, shot off weapons and stuff like that. So it is a very, very hard life over there. And this is going to be a big shot in the arm for soldier stations. There is absolutely no doubt about it. I have no doubt about it. It was there, like I said, it was there on the cards always. It has been there for, as far as I know, more than 1.5 decades. So there I durustai. I hope, this comes through very fast, and all our posts, some of the posts are called, winter stock-up posts. So in the sense, in the summer, you stock them up, and you eat through the winter till the next summer comes up. So I hope, that is those posts reduce, and people get some, fresh food and fresh meat or whatever that is given over there, and not canned food that they eat for.
So it's not